Okay, I have two issues here. One is I have the exposure compensation on this camera set to make it darker. It was from a shot that I made earlier today. But that was with my phone connected to the camera, and I don't know how to change that setting without my phone connected to the camera. I don't have it with me right now, so it's just stuck kind of dark mode. That's the first one. And the second one is I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Oh, and it's the end of the day, and I put off making the video until right now. It's like literally the end of my day. I need to go home and take a shower and go to bed. But I did have, I had a great call with my coach today, and that was, we're doing it weekly right now. And one of the things we talked about was something called relationship bids. And what that refers to is these small gestures that you do in a relationship to just to remind the person that you love them, and to, I guess, to implicitly ask if they love you back. And this could be anything from just like a passing smooch, or a little note, or just any little gesture that just kind of says, hey, I love you. Do you love me back? And what I was thinking about while he was explaining this was that in that moment, with my coach telling me about this, and hearing it and thinking about it, I was in a mode where I wanted to do it. And this goes back to what I spoke about in the last video, about how when I'm talking to my coach, I'm in a mode of I'm open and I'm curious, and I want to learn, and specifically from this person. And so he's telling me about it, and I'm like, yes, that sounds great, that sounds fun, that's what I want to do. I want to do lots of little gestures that tell my wife I love her. It's a good thing. It feels like me. The only problem is that mode that I'm in when I'm in a coaching session isn't necessarily my most dominant mode when I'm at home with my wife. It's just not how I interface with her on a regular basis. And because we're in a stressful period in our lives, it's different. There are stressors, and we're having to learn how to deal with them, and we're also seeing we're seeing challenges in our relationship, or challenges to our relationship, and that means that we have a mode of being around each other where all of those little gestures, they don't come naturally. I didn't have the same feeling, and so I had this distinct comparison where I'm in the call with my coach, and I'm feeling good, and I'm positive, I'm enthusiastic, and I want to dive in, but it only takes a few minutes of being back in my regular life again before I'm out of that mode, and I'm I'm grumpy, and I'm not feeling like I want to just put out gestures of love. I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm just in a grumpy mood. And so that was just interesting to me to feel those two different modes, and how quickly they morphed from one into the other. And so now I'm thinking about, okay, so how can I quickly go from my grumpy mode into my curious and compassionate and loving mode? And if you're hoping I have the answer for you, I don't. I have some ideas. One of them is really just to kind of brute force some curiosity is I find that when I'm not curious, when I'm making assumptions, those tend to be wrong. And it puts me in a frame of mind where I think I know the answer. And, I think in order to interface with someone honestly and genuinely, then you have to be curious. You have to not be assuming that you know everything about the person or about their motivations or what their behavior says about them or anything like that. You have to maintain some curiosity. So that's my best guess right now for how to get into that mode. Is just, hey, force myself to be curious. Ask a genuine question to connect with that person and to see what's going on, see how they're doing. Take the time to actually have a breath and relax with that person. Anyway, I don't need to go too much into that. What I wanted to say was it was such a noticeable shift in my attitude. And being aware of those shifts is what's going to allow me to figure out what's going on there. That's the first step, right? Awareness. So that was a big one, and I'm gonna be working on that. And maybe you'll notice if you've got just areas where you default into a particular mode of thinking, and then you might become aware of when that mode shifts, and kind of start to develop a mental map of where your different default modes crop up and how they feel, and start to poke around and see why that is. I think I'll wrap it there because I'm tired and I don't have much more to say. So I'm hoping I can do some better stuff tomorrow. And side note, I might not be posting videos this weekend. We'll see. I'm going to be at the Oregon Country Fair. It's a big old event, and I don't know, I may be a little distracted, but we'll see. No guarantees. Okay. See you later.